Hello everyone. So we're on that water job that we had the other day. Remember, the ceiling was all completely soaked, and the floor was completely soaked. And we had a bunch of equipment. We had the bathroom upstairs here. It's already dry. We have the equipment out of there. What we did is all of this cardboard ceiling material, we took it all down. It was wet because it's not savable. We extracted all the water. We applied antimicrobial. We removed all the dirty stuff from the carpet. All the stuff that came down from this plaster and lath. Got all that out. So when we were done taking out the ceiling here, there was nothing up there that could hold moisture. There was no plaster and lath that was still wet, and there was none of this cardboard type ceiling stuff that was wet. What that does is that allows all that wood to dry, because you got to get heat on it. So we had the E-test. We had the E-test pushing heat up into here for the last day and a half, 2 days, and it got everything dry. So what we're doing now, the only spot we still have some moisture is right here, right in front of the machine there, and that's why the machine's there now. We still have a commercial LGR dehumidifier. This isn't like your at-home machines. This is computer controlled. It has to do whatever it needs to run to achieve dew point. There's Rachel. Hi, Rach. And so that's pulling the moisture out as this is finishing pulling that moisture out of the floor. Now downstairs below this, the floor joists and stuff had got wet. They're good. They tested dry. But there's still just a little bit of trapped moisture right underneath that carpet. So we're using the E-test. It's an electric thermal exchanger. So what it's doing is it's pulling in air and it's heating it up. There's coils in there. It runs off at 220, and it's heating up this area. Now I have a temperature probe set up, which is right there. That once this room reaches a certain temperature, that turns off and then turns back on to maintain that temperature so we can get this as dry as possible. But this is the only spot left. This was completely soaked 2 days ago. This was all wet. All of this was wet. This room was a big puddle. So yeah, so this is 2.5. I had more fans in here, which I don't need now. I got this fan. This is blowing nice dry air out also. It's also already running. But inlet temperature right now is 72. We're warming it back up. At the moment, the relative humidity is currently 37%. The humidity is going to go up as this moisture evaporates, and that's where that dehumidifier comes in. It's pulling that moisture out in this little tube here. Once it knows it's full, it pumps itself empty, and that goes over, and there's a sink just over here. And to keep the vortex going, keep the air in the room moving around and around, so that it passes by the dehumidifier and the heat exchanger. So we got one fan left over here. So we got 2 fans, 1 heat exchanger, and an LGR. So hopefully when I come later tonight, this will test even better and be good to go. There's only a couple things that actually got wet, and they were not of any real consequence from what I understand. But nonetheless, this is all that got wet on her desk that we know of. So she's really happy with that. But we were able to save, from the looks of it, we were able to save the floor and all the beams and stuff downstairs. And we were able to save the floor upstairs. The vanity upstairs has a little bit of water damage to it, but we were able to get all of that dry. And of course, we took all this metal filing cabinets and stuff out when this was all wet so we could get everything. So yeah, so we're just dealing right here, a little bit of moisture left. So hopefully we'll be taking all this equipment completely out tomorrow, and they'll be back in business. I have a zip wall here, and what the zip wall does is creating a barrier from that area to this area. We have a door shut, and then once I go to leave, we'll have the sealador zipped up. Hi, Rach. And we'll have the sealador, but the reason why we do that is this heat, we want to just dry this room, because this is where all of the stuff happened. We want to dry just this room, and that's why I have everything sealed up. So it's good to go.